Hey guys, this is Vanngo. Welcome to my YouTube channel. There are many requests regarding how to do wedding makeup. And I know I always reply to the comments say that many of my videos can be wedding makeup. But today I actually invite Reba Madar to come here to lend me her canvas to create a wedding makeup look for you. This is more an effortless wedding makeup. It's not heavy. I think it's for someone who want just look very effortless, very somewhat natural on their wedding. I'm actually partnered with a brush brand that my assistant Sue introduced to me 2.5 years ago. It's called Refer, and they send me all their products for me to create the wedding makeup look, but also show you guys different ways to use brushes as well. I hope you enjoy the video. Give my channel always a lot of love. Subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to follow both Reba and me on Instagram as well. Thank you. To start every makeup, I always prep the skin. For makeup for wedding, I prep the skin even more so, just because you want the makeup to last all day, the skin stay really fresh, and the prepping come way more important than your normal everyday makeup. I always put some lip balm first, just to hydrate the skin. The second part I'm going to use is calming serum. For this day, I think if you want the skin feel really relaxed, calm, you don't want the skin get irritated with anything, and it's a perfect time to really take care of the skin, prep the skin for this. Before the skin prep today, I actually only do a little face scrub, a face mask, and an eye mask on nipple already. Second product is eye cream. Important to prep the skin around the eye before makeup as well. You can always blot off all the excess moisture, close your eye, if you like after, but it's always better to prep some eye cream around there. Close your eye. For face cream, I'm going to use the face cream from Dr. Barbara Sturm as well. If you watch any of my video before, I like to overhydrate the skin first, blot them before makeup. I never like the idea of underhydration because I think the skin doesn't take foundation very well. Makeup doesn't last as long. That's just my personal preference. I know some people, they just use a little primer and they get ready to do makeup, but I'm the opposite of that. Then give your face a little waking up. If you do somebody makeup for the wedding, your energy gonna translate to her. So try to keep the process really calm, give her very relaxing facial. It's actually gonna help her to calm down as well. Gonna make your job go even easier. Normally, I don't use much primer when I do makeup, but for a red carpet or wedding, I always use a little matte primer on the T-zone area. The primer I'm using today is from Clearable. It's their mattifying primer, and I just use mainly only a little bit on the T-zone area where you think that it's gonna get a lot of shine. For makeup for wedding or red carpet, I like to use foundation concealer that don't have any SPF. The one I'm using today is Makeup Forever, the high definition foundation and concealer. If you want to use sunscreen, or you should use sunscreen, you use it right now before you put the foundation on. I'm doing this in my studio and I wipe it off after. I'm going to skip that step and it saves us some time, but you can always put some sunscreen first and then you use the foundation. I don't like to use foundation that have SPF because there's flashback in photography. You want the true skin tone when you have picture taken. For foundation and concealer, I'm using these two brush from Refer. It is a brush brand that I've been using a lot, and a lot of you asking me question about the brand. So this time I asked the owner if he want to send me all the brush that he has. So we talk about the brushes today as well for all of you to see which one is for what. This one is the foundation brush. Niba have incredible skin, so basically I'm only cover a little bit. You don't need to overly cake the skin up, especially for the wedding. You want to look back at the photo later on, you say, I look great on the wedding. You don't want to say, I have a lot of makeup on. And I'm doing right now, I just do a little bit, mainly in the T-zone area, and I blend it out. For this foundation brush, it is great for applying foundation. For light application, you can do just like this, but if you want more coverage, you press it more this way. This way you get way more coverage on the application. For foundation, blending is the key. Either you give the foundation a little color to the bride or not. I try to match Niba skin, the body and the face pretty close. That's why I make the skin a little warmer on the face, but always trying to blend out everywhere. If the wedding dress is lower, you need to blend out the neck area, and these kind of brushes is perfect for it. You can just do a slightly wash like this. It's easy and quick. You can actually cover everywhere a lot easier as well. And that is the story. You can go more coverage than this if you like, but I think that's all she needs for the foundation. I don't want to go heavier than that. For concealer, I'm using mainly under the eye, around the nose, and this is also a great concealer brush. It works like your finger application. It press the product really well in the skin, blend really well. The great thing about Refer brushes is all the shape was created together with the community after receiving tens of thousands of feedback. I'm including one of them for sure. The Refer concept store is also a place where everyone can try the products as a significant discount. All they ask for is your honest feedback after trying the products. Look out for me. All these brushes are handcrafted in Kumano, Japan by traditional artisans and craftsmen. I know a lot of you asking me, some affordable brush. I honestly think that it's better to invest on some good brushes. You can buy one at a time and it would last you for a long time. And that's what I do with all my brushes. Some of them I have like 5 or 7 years. I still use them and it's still in good shape because I wash the brushes after every single application. So you need the brush that can go through all those processes. Niba have incredible bone structure and everything. I don't need to do any contouring, but because makeup for wedding, there can be a lot of flash photography. So I usually do a little sculpting on the face as well. Even the talent doesn't need it, just for that reason. I'm using the Chanel cream bronzer. This is one of my favorite cream bronzer in the market, and they always have just one shade, and this is a deeper shade, but I still think it looks amazing on Niba. And I'm using the same type of brush that I used earlier for the foundation. This is actually a foundation brush, but I love to use this as a contour and shading because it's like a softer kabuki brushes. And you see even it look deep this way for me, and you still can give a nice sculpting, very softer. That's what we're trying to do. And with the brush like this, you can blend really easy. And you see that that's all I'm gonna do for contouring or sculpting. Around this area and a few little area, I'm using this highlighter from Givenchy. It's more like a cream highlighter like this. I'm using this type of brush to apply for it. So this is more like an eyeshadow blending brush, but I'm using this at the precision application, so you can use this to apply it. This way you get more control than use the bigger brush. And for this type of look, I usually layer my highlighter. I use a little bit on the cream before I set with the powder, then I go back with the powder highlighter after. For all the brush I use today, there are many different ways you can use them. I just use whatever first to my instinct, and this one here you can use the same thing for under the eye if you want more precision application in the setting the powder. So it's all personal preference how you want to use it. And these brush you can use them wet or dry, so you can use them with liquid or you can use with powder as well. And it gives Niba very subtle glow around those areas. For powder today, I'm going to use two different kind of powder. The first one is the loose powder from Givenchy. This one I use to set the under eye, everywhere on the face. And then later on, the final, I use a little pressed powder from Charlotte Tilbury just to really lock in all the area that you think you're gonna have to shine. And for loose powder, I'm using two different brush. I like a pointy brush like this. Look up for me. So this more precision where I want to apply the loose powder. And then the other one, close your eye. This is one of my favorite new powder brush. I think they're fantastic. You can apply everywhere else on the face. You can use the same brush like this for everywhere as well, but I like the smaller one around under the eye so I can really get into the area. I'm going to use some bronzer as well to set where I did the shading earlier. You don't have to, but I like to do that whole process, and I show every single step of how I do the look, and you can skip whatever you like. I personally like to use a big brush like this for bronzer. So I feel it's way more easier for me to apply bronzer, but some people like a smaller brush for more control. It's all personal preference. I just use the big brush like that. I think it blends a lot easier. Another brush, you can use this one, is the number 24. It's also good for bronzer as well. Or I use this one as a foundation brush. If you want more to apply for like liquid or cream foundation, you can use this brush as well. For eyebrow, Niba have beautiful shaped brow. I'm just gonna follow the shape a little bit, maybe just lift it a bit higher on this, on the back area here. I'm gonna use just a brow wish from Anastasia, and the shade I'm using is blonde. Remember, the idea of the makeup look I'm doing today is for a bride who want more effortless makeup. It means that she doesn't want to look back 20 years later and say, oh my god, I wear so much makeup on my wedding. So the look I'm doing a little bit more softer, not overly painted on the eye or lips. Everything is more effortless, and she looked like she did it herself in a very elegant way. And I'm just filling the eyebrow a little bit. And I think like some of the eyebrow trend, it might look great now, but you want to do something for your wedding on the makeup look that later on you look back and say, oh, it still looks current. And that's the most important thing. So I think just feeling very natural shape is gonna stay classic always for you. And I'm doing the same on this side right now. Just filling the eyebrow a little bit. To set the brow, I'm going to use this brow gels also from Anastasia. Just use a little bit like what I do right now, and just gel the brows up. Before eyeshadow, I'm using some eye primer from Trish McAvoy, and I'm using the blending brush like this just to apply the eye primer. Close your eye. You don't have to use the brush if you don't want to, but for precision application, you should, especially on a special day. So I just use a little brush to apply. And this is just like a blending brush as well. Since this video about some education about brushes for you as well, so I'm gonna talk a little bit before I start do the eye makeup. For smudgy brush, I usually use one of these three brushes. And you guys see me use many times before. For a bigger blending or smudging, I use this brush, the 12. When a bit more pointier or more a smaller section, I use this one, number 26. For a little one, if I do a blended liner, I use number 3. All these three brushes can also use as eyeshadow application. I use it. There's no right or wrong to use any brushes, and there's many of these eyeshadow brush as well. For deposit color, I usually use number 2 or the number 28. These two brushes, I don't deposit with blending brush. I use each brushes to deposit the color first before I use the other brush to blend it out. Obviously, you're not gonna able to afford all these brushes, but trying to get even just one of these for a smudgy one, this one you can do many different way, or you can use it to apply eyeshadow on the crease as well. And one of these eyeshadow brushes, and then just the blending brushes. All these here, that's some of the eyeshadow brush I normally use. For eyeshadow, I'm using this new palette from Chanel and this Browy Taupe liner from Chanel as well. Remember that we're trying to keep the color more timeless, more classic, so I use these tone. But again, it's all personal preference. If you want to use color way more dramatic for your wedding day, it's up to you. The first color I'm going to use is I'm using this shade right here. And again, I use this brush to deposit the color. And this way it gets way more control than the fluffy one. Close your eye. Just a little bit. Just like that. I just did the same on the other side. Next step, look up for me. I use the same shade, smudge it out a little bit on the lower lash line. Remember, it's exciting to do all these trendy makeup look, but for wedding day, keep in mind, do something classic. I'm doing the same on the other side. Look up for me. The second color I'm using is this color right here. Look up for me. I'm doing a little bit the inner part of the eye, and then also use the same shade to blend it out the edges. And I use smaller fluffy brush like this. This way you can blend a lot easier. Close your eye. Same shades. I use a little bit on the top here and on the crease area. Same thing, use this to blend out the edges and give a little highlight on the brow bones as well. Next, I'm going to use a long wear eyeliner. Remember, for wedding day, if you use mascara, try to use waterproof mascara. Close. For eyeliner, try to use long wear. Even eyeshadow, use more a longer wear eyeshadow as well, in case you cry. That's for that reason. And you can see right now, I'm not trying to do like an eyeliner. I'm just use that to create some depth, and just use a blending brush like this. That would be a perfect one actually. You just blend the edges out. You can do a black liquid liner if you want to. I just want to keep it very subtle and effortless. Same liner, look down for me. I'm doing a little bit on the upper waterline. And this is long wear, as I mentioned earlier, so do one eye at a time. Go back to the blending brush I used earlier. Close your eye. I'm using the deeper shades, just tracing the line I did earlier, so smudge it out a little more. And just warm up the liner a little bit. You see, I just do a little bit like this, very subtle. Use a clean brush, nothing else. Close your eye. Just use this to blend everything out. Just a quick, this way, everything blended together. If you don't use lashes, you can use mascara and down the eye. I don't think you should go further than this if you want more an effortless look. I'm going to do the blush and lip first, and I go back to the eye area for lashes. For blush, I'm going to use this shade of blush from Huda Beauty. It's their new Glowish blushes, and I'm using this brush. This is the great brush for blush or highlighter, or even a light foundation. You can use powder as well. I mean, these brushes you can use anyway. And again, I always suggest a little bit at a time when you're applying blushes. You can see I do the blush on the higher part. You can go with less blush or soft blush, it's up to you. I like a little more flush, especially on the wedding day. I think she looked happy, she had flush on the face. It's just an idea. And this is just like so sheer, you can see that it's just effortless on the skin. For highlighter, I'm going to use this highlighter from Laura Mercier. This is beautiful softer highlight, which I love, and I'm using the fan brush to apply highlighter. And you just dust gently on the high cheekbone, around the temple, a little bit everywhere that you want radiance. And it's a great way to apply and highlight with this kind of brush. For lips, I'm going to use this lipstick shades from Givenchy and a similar lip liner from Huda Beauty. For lipstick on the wedding day, people tend to go what they feel best. Some people would love a red lipstick. Some people want to love just like a hint of color. Some we just want a color more mauvey, more muted. So it's all your personal preference as well. I like color almost like your lips, but better. I think that's the best way to wear a lips color on your wedding day. So if you can find a color, it's like your natural lips color, but enhanced, that would be a perfect color for your wedding day. Because, you know, in case you kiss the groom, in case you eat, even you don't have time to touch up, at least there's something still on the lips that come close your lips color. The stain, I mean, after from the lips. And you can see right now, I just shaping the lip liner a little bit. For lipstick, I like to use this kind of brush. It's more like a concealer brush or eyeshadow, or you can use this for pigment or shimmer, anything like that. But this for me is perfect for a lip brush. I find sometimes the lip brush is too small. It doesn't do much. It takes forever, and it actually doesn't give you that kind of precision application. I like the brush a little bigger. And the lipstick I'm using is more a matte lipstick. Big smile for me. Not too shiny. For today, I'm not going to do any mascara. You can, if you want to use mascara, just use waterproof mascara. I'm going to use some lashes. It's a Lashify, which is like you can get a set like this. This is not sponsored, just so you know. Basically, you just create individual lashes and it's set for you. You cry, it doesn't come off. Sometimes mascara can be a mess at a wedding day. I always curl the lashes when I do lashes or mask or anything. I think when you curl your lashes, it gives the eye nice lift. So it's always better just curl the lashes first. And I'm gonna do the lashes off camera and then I'll be right back. I just finished on that side. I used 10 and 8. You can see that it looks very, very natural. You don't have to use mascara at all. And I used B10 and 8. 4 of the B10 outside and 2 the inside. The Lashify is that you do from underneath the lashes, so it looks very, very natural. And now I'm gonna do the other side. So you see that this is perfect. For example, your mascara gonna run because Lashify only for the top. Some people want, they can use a little bit waterproof mascara on the lower lashes. If anything, I would do a little bit. Look out for me. Just on the lower lashes if you feel them too bare. And you see that I just use a tiny bit only just to find the. To set everything before setting spray, I always go back with pressed powder a little bit. I always keep a little more pressed powder on the T-zone area, around the nose. Again, this just really lock everything in. Look under the eye for me. You can use the sponge as well. I like the brush just so I can get more control this way as well. To set the makeup, I'm gonna set with All Nighter from Urban Decay. This way it's gonna lock everything in. That is the final look, guys. I hope you enjoyed my effortless wedding look. Thank you, Nuba, so much for lending me your canvas to play this look. Thank you, Jennifer Bear, to lend us this little headpiece to decorate the final look. Thank you, Dawson, to create beautiful wedding hair. And especially thank you, Refer, sending us all the brushes to play and show you guys different way to use brushes. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Give my channel always a lot of love. If you guys would like me to do more of wedding makeup, don't forget to give a thumb up, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. The video do well, I will do more volume 2, 3, 4, 5, many different versions of wedding makeup. Thank you so much for watching.